Okay, my first question is with Houses of the Holy is, what's it doing on Physical Graffiti?
See, and I did.
All right, so our Led Zeppelin top 10.
This will be interesting. I think
Yeah.
that we'll have a different list.
Where we need to start is Led Zeppelin 2, because I know there isn't a song that I really care for from the first album.
Let me pull up the albums real quick because I'm not the best with Led Zeppelin at remembering which was off of which album.
Actually, pull up the first album and go over the song list real quick.
So this is Led Zeppelin 2. Okay, yeah. The first album starts with Good Times, Bad Times, then Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, You Shook Me, Dazed and Confused, Your Time Is Gonna Come, Black Mountainside, Communication Breakdown, and two more. I Can't Quit You, Baby, and How Many More Times.
Yeah, there actually were a few good songs on that album. Your Time Is Gonna Come. I think that was a good song. Dazed and Confused.
It's okay.
That was really, you're talking about a really bluesy song. that for sure. So there was a few good songs on the first album, but nothing really that stands out to me.
Yeah, no.
But the second album is a couple of songs out there I think I would have on my top 10. So what was the playlist on the second album?
What's going on here with the numbers? Oh, I think this is supposed to be disc 1, disc 2. It's a longer album. So it starts with Whole Lotta Love and then goes on with What Is and What Should Never Be, The Lemon Song, Thank You, Heartbreaker, Living Loving Maid, She's Just a Woman, Ramble On, Moby Dick, and Bring It On Home. That's kind of oh no, that is the whole album. Then it's just all of these extended and mixes and all of that. So those are the nights.
Yeah. So real quick, but Moby Dick was not too many songs were in rock history, but there may have been other bands I don't listen to or whatever, but was a song that's totally dedicated to the drums. And Moby Dick, it was, and you can picture that song, right? Because I'm assuming, I never actually verified it, but the song was actually after the novel. And
that's the way.
I think that's the kind of way you listen to the song, is like Captain Ahab, Chasing Down the Whale. And it's an interesting song to listen to when you picture it in the right context. You double check it. Is that what the song is written about?
No, I guess there wasn't a direct. What? Oh no, that wasn't even somebody from the band. No.
Really?
No.
But I think it's kind of just in the title itself. I mean, why would you title the song that? I mean, if it's not about it.
They did have Moby Dick wasn't the first name of the song.
Oh, really? What was it?
No. It was named after John Bonham's wife, Pat. It was called Pat's Delight.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So pretty much, it goes on, this article goes on to say, in reference to Bonham, he goes, he loved playing the drums with Led Zeppelin, but he hated touring. He suffered from chronic homesickness, which he dealt with by
drinking a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. They put it as dealt with by wrecking everybody else's life on the road. Yeah. Here's a fun fact for you as well. So the finished, make sure I read this right. Yeah. The fully realized Moby Dick, the fully finished one, was only the second time a drum solo had been featured as a track in its own right on a rock album.
Yeah.
So do you have any idea what band could have done it before?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, you're talking a whole lot.
If you don't get it, as soon as I say it, it'll make sense in your head.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking, because the second album was released, I think, probably about, 71? 72, maybe? I think the first album was released in 69.
No, the second album was released in 69.
Really? So it definitely would have
First
to
album.
be,
Well, they were both released.
yeah, it would definitely have to be a drummer from that generation, the 60s. I mean, the only drummer I could think of off the top of my head, that would be Ginger Baker. The song, I don't know.
It was Ginger Baker.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It was off their debut album, Fresh Cream. The song was called Toad.
Toad. Yeah, I would
Toad.
think I was dead on, man. Ginger Baker, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know the song Toad. I gotta listen to it one time.
Mhm.
But anyways, I think it's the title itself tells you they probably went back. Yeah, this would kind of go along with the novel. I mean, that's one thing. When I listen to this song, I always picture that. But anyways, two of the songs that are definitely on my top 10, because we're kind of just go by album in no particular order.
I actually made it top 10.
Oh, you did? All right. Well, I'm going to kind of just wing it with mine.
Okay.
So make that on my list. But "Living, Loving, Made" is on there. And I started. What was the other song? The first song?
A Whole Lot of Love.
Yeah, "A Whole Lot of Love." Right. Those two songs are definitely on my top 10. And yeah, with the Led Zeppelin songs, it's almost like there's a story behind every song for me, man, because I remember, which song was it? Was it "Living, Loving, Made"? But my cousin Mike, he would always like make fun of songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was always, how Robert Plant, that one comedian would joke around like he's going to sound like he's going to sneeze, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the part in where, I can't remember which one it was. I think it's "Whole Lot of Love" where he does that, goes like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he would joke around about that. It's kind of a song that takes me back to then. Obviously, when that song was just out, I was really young at that point, only 4 or 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really didn't get into, the first album I remember by Led Zeppelin was Led Zeppelin 4.
Yeah, and that was 71.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they did. They released these albums really close together, didn't they?
We did. I mean, Houses of the Holy was released in 73, and then Physical Graffiti was 75. So, I mean, pretty much their whole catalog was released in through the outro was 79. So it was all just over a 10-year period.
Yeah. Okay. So any of those songs on your top 10, or do you want to just say your top 10, the list you've already made, before we look at the albums? Just as I named songs, you add one.
I say we go through the albums and you kind of create your 10, and then we'll compare it to how my ranked list is.
All right. So let's go to Led Zeppelin 3.
Released in 1970. It starts with the Immigrant Song, of course, and then goes on, 10 songs. Continues on with Friends, then Celebration Day, Since I've Been Loving You, Out on the Tiles, Gallows Pole, Tangerine, That's the Way. That one song that's supposed to be some kind of Irish, Gaelic, a Draw on the Your song, and Hats Off.
Yeah, the story behind the Immigrant Song.
Do I?
Yeah, you remember that I won that contest.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you went the actual origin of the song.
Yeah, we went to the motocross.
Yeah, driving.
We got, that was the only time we went to an actual suite, and it was the arena. Yeah. Yeah,
it was the Pepsi Center at the time.
Yeah, and we actually got to go into a suite at the Pepsi Center and watch this motocross event. And it was all because I was driving to work and I was listening to the radio, and the announcers, they had this contest for anybody who could name that song. And you got to remember, it at the time, it took me about, 30, 40 minutes to get to work. And I was driving the car and I was listening, and there was caller after caller, and nobody could get the song. I mean, that's one of Led Zeppelin's
Yeah.
more notable songs, and nobody knew the title.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I kept driving along. I said, by the time I get to work, somebody's going to get it and everything. And sure enough, I got to work and nobody had gotten the song yet. So I parked the car and I ran. My office was like on the second floor, third floor of the building. I don't remember. But I ran up there and I dialed the phone. And sure enough, I got through. And they came on the radio. They go, okay, we got Mark on the radio here. He goes, the name of the song. I go, yeah. And I said it just like that. I go, that's the Immigrant Song, man. Yeah. So it was like this mad dash to get there. And then the announcers came on the radio to go, finally, somebody got the song and everything. I go, yeah. I go, how can nobody know that song? And I wasn't the biggest Led Zeppelin fan, but heck, I knew that much.
That's the funny part to me is that we're talking, that would have been the mid 2000s. And so it wasn't as far back in time from like 2025 now. I don't know. It's one of the most famous, every part of that song is one of the most famous instrumental riffs, whatever you want to call it, in rock history. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just a weird morning for people listening to that radio station.
Yeah. So anyways, that's on my top 10. And the other song on the album that's on my top 10 is Tangerine. Yeah, those two songs for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
And so next we're at Led Zeppelin 4, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Though it's not titled Led Zeppelin 4. It's just
no, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's just been what's the word? Categorized. Yeah, or whatever. Just an accepted thing that people call it Led Zeppelin 4.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, why not? So, and I just forget there's only 8 songs off of the album.
Yeah,
because they're longer songs.
Yeah,
yeah. Starts with Black Dog, Rock and Roll, The Battle of Evermore, Stairway to Heaven, Misty Mountain Hop, Four Sticks, Going to California, and When the Levee Breaks.
Yeah. It was a great overall album, just the album as a whole. But the 2 songs out there, it's almost like every album has 2 songs, but Black Dog and obviously Stairway to Heaven, those 2 songs are definite top 10. So that's 6 right there for me.
Yeah.
And so we go on to, was it Houses of the Holy?
Yes. Yeah. Houses of the Holy. One of the stranger album covers.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Again, only 8 songs. The song remains the same. The Rain Song, Over the Hills and Far Away, The Crunge, Dancing Days, Dire Maker, No Quarter, and The Ocean. Yeah,
No Quarter. No Quarter is a creepy song, man, but I think it's particularly, I guess I got the vision from the movie The Song Remains the Same. I thought that was one of the cooler or creepier, however you want to define it, parts of the movie. And it was focused on John Paul Jones, right?
Yeah.
Because remember, he was wearing the mask, and I don't know, it's kind of like a Halloween type thing, I think. Because at the end of the song, he goes into his family and he takes the creepy mask off, and and the other song, what were the first couple of songs again?
Song Remains the Same, Rain Song, Over the Hills and Far Away.
Yeah, the Rain Song.
The Crunge.
No, the Rain Song's on my top 10. So that's
8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So on to Physical Graffiti.
Why it looks longer on a list, but again, it's just 9 songs. Starting with Custard Pie, The Rover, In My Time of Dying, Houses of the Holy, Trampled Underfoot, Kashmir, In the Light, Broad Ear Hour, however you say that, Down by the Seaside, 10 Years Gone, Night Flight, The Wanton Song, Boogie with Stu, Black Country Woman, and Sick Again.
Yeah, in the Light, that's on my top 10. And I know what other final song I'm going to have on my list after that.
Yeah.
All of My Love off of Yeah. That would be just real quick. Yeah, that's my top 10 list right there. And if
Yeah.
so, yeah, I know what my favorite song is by Led Zeppelin. I think it's probably everybody's favorite song by Led Zeppelin. So I guess I don't know. I mean, because it's a foregone conclusion. I guess you would say that it would be Stairway to Heaven. As I guess we can go from top to bottom with this because, yeah, a Stairway to Heaven. First of all, there's a real story behind Stairway to Heaven. Maybe you should go over that a little bit.
Sure. Get my details correct.
Yeah.
Growing up, it was always universally accepted as the greatest rock song of all time.
Yeah.
There was never any debate. If anybody named, the greatest rock song, a lot of people would say the greatest song of all time.
Yeah.
Stairway to Heaven. Yeah, I forgot that. So the name of that one song that I can't say, Braun, Ear Owl, however you say that, this was the name of the cottage that Jimmy Page and Robert Plant were staying in after their fifth tour in the US. And so, yeah, Page, he always kept a cassette recorder around. And pretty much they pieced it together from a bunch of different recordings. And it was very much just two guys in a house, just coming up with little pieces of music at a time, stitching it together. And then kind of like Jimmy Page is describing that, the initial idea to have this quite fragile guitar that would open up this piece of music and or something that would accelerate as it went through from beginning to end. But just to increase, he uses the word texture, complexity, whatever you want to describe it, as it all goes along. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you meant so much the meaning of the song or the origin of the song.
Yeah, well,
but
from what I was always told growing up is the song was written in a real short period of time. And Jimmy Page said there was a real spiritual influence on writing the song because they wrote the music and the lyrics in a relatively short period of time. And of course, a little side note, because Robert Plant supposedly, I don't know if that's true or not, that he blamed John Bonham's death with Jimmy Page's obsession with the occult. Because, and there's no question, anybody who says or doubts Jimmy Page's obsession with the occult, all you have to do is, when you see his concerts, I mean, there's plenty of pictures with him, and you look at his pants, it has like 666 on his pants that he would wear. And he bought the house of Aleister Crowley, who was one of the most well-known occultists. So there's no question that Jimmy Page, how the occult was an influence on him. So if you believe in that stuff, maybe there was this spiritual element behind Stairway to Heaven. And of course, the religious community, particularly Christianity, they really attacked the song, right? Because it's one of the most, or probably the most famous song that people play backwards, because supposedly it has all these secret messages when you play the song backwards. So you could take that for what it is. So yeah, the spiritual element behind the song, man. I mean, when you listen to this song, there is kind of that element. I mean, it's an amazing song. Going back to another song that we were talking about the other day, it was kind of developed in the same manner. That was Bridge Over Troubled Water, because Bridge Over Troubled Water starts in the same manner that Stairway to Heaven does, right? It starts off really, really quiet and builds up. And that's exactly what you get with Stairway to Heaven. It's this journey. That's kind of like the story behind a little bit behind Bridge Over Troubled Water is the idea. I mean, so the story goes, whether it's true or not, that Bridge Over Troubled Water is supposed to be a song you listen to when you take heroin.
Yeah.
It's like when you first inject the stuff, and then the more and more it affects you, it takes you off into another land or whatever heroin does to you. but supposedly that's the idea behind Bridge Over Troubled Water. Are you looking at just to see if that's actually true or not?
Because the thing with a lot of the classic rock songs is people they definitely tried to make a lot of connections to a lot of different things.
Yeah, I think what I was told is that the part of Bridge Over Troubled Water where they say "Sail on, Silver Girl, sail on by" is reference to heroin, something to that effect.
Yeah, so like it depends on what story I guess you want to believe. Where it goes on specifically that line, you said it at the right time. It stems from a conversation he had with his girlfriend and betrothed at the time, Peggy Harper, quote, who had recently fretted about finding her first gray hairs, unquote. Whether or not she enjoyed the joke is up for debate, although some commentators have suggested that the song is actually about heroin.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of urban legends with a lot of those songs.
Right.
And
and Stairway to Heaven is no different, right? So you got the spiritual element. But yeah, I mean, when you listen to the song, it builds up, and it's this journey, man. It's this journey with Stairway to Heaven, and I think that's why the song it's such an impactful song, because like with a lot of Led Zeppelin songs, it's this journey. Like we were just talking about Moby Dick. I mean, it's just this long drum solo song, but it's just like you're picturing Captain Ahab chasing down the whale. It's just like, yeah, it takes you on these journeys, like the Rain song. That's the great thing about Led Zeppelin songs. It really it's like a story. It's like a story, and you go along with the story. And another song that I probably would have on my list, Kashmir, is a lot like that. It's a very hypnotic song. So I think that's the great thing about Stairway to Heaven, like a lot of their songs, is it takes you on a journey, and it's a great rock and roll song. There's no weak part in the song. I mean, when we're talking about perfect songs, there's no question that Stairway to Heaven, fits that.
Yeah, I do agree.
So, any thoughts from you about Stairway to Heaven, about how it affects you personally?
It's one of those things where, as I was going through listening to some songs, and it'd been a while since I listened to Stairway to Heaven or Led Zeppelin in general. And then when I made my list, I just put Stairway to Heaven on there naturally. But it's actually been a long time since I've listened to the song. It's kind of, I don't know. I understand it's a great song. I really enjoy the song. And so I kind of just, when I get the chance to listen to it, I go, it's Stairway to Heaven. I associate more listening to the song as a child than now. But I always think of, because it is that journey. There's two faster, long rock songs that I associate with going on a journey, or eventually to get to faster points, is Stairway to Heaven and Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
For those two songs that might have very connected because of the format. Even though they're talking about different things and the musical styles are very different. I always remember the opening, the Stairway to Heaven. That to me is kind of I don't know. It's about somebody who thinks that she's kind of better than everybody else.
The beginning of it I really like because it has the flute. I really like the sound of the flute in the song and the guitar. For me in rock music, I'm not a big fan of acoustic guitars in rock music, but it definitely works well with Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
And when you're a kid, if you're a guitarist when you're young, that's one of the essential guitar songs that you learn. Is Stairway to Heaven. Like everybody wants to know Eddie Van Halen play the Spanish Fly, right? But yeah, Stairway to Heaven in your guitar sound, that was a cool thing. If you could actually play it, and I knew several people that could play that. But the flute is really the element that really kicks off the song well. putting that in there.
Yeah.
So I think one of the difference between me and you and Stairway to Heaven is I was around when it was a new song, just like Bohemian Rhapsody, right, by Queen. I remember when that song came out and was listening on the radio. Of course, when Stairway to Heaven was out, I was really young, but I remember hearing it on the radio, and to tell you the truth, I didn't like the song a lot when I was little. I didn't really care for the song. It was one of those songs that as I grew older, I appreciated more and more. And now when I listen to the song, I think, wow, that was a great song.
Yeah. Yeah. It's because it's like they describe the lyrics are kind of vague at some points, more abstract. And so a lot of people kind of get their own meaning from the song.
Yeah.
Because of that room for interpretation. I guess the simple way to what I'm trying to say is that I haven't listened to the song that much at an age where I can get my own opinion from it, value from it. So I need to sit down and I listen to it sometimes recently, but never to the point where I'm trying to interpret everything.
Yeah. Just real quick, is there any story behind the actual lyrics in the song? Is there any specific meaning behind it, or?
One basic one sentence description that says it tells a story of a greedy woman who is overly optimistic about her promising future, which is pretty much summed up in the first verse, where she thinks that she's buying this Stairway to Heaven. When she gets there, she knows that the stores are all closed. With the word, she can get what she came for. So she thinks that everything is working her way in the end.
Yeah, from a philosophical.
I'm sure there's people that know much more about the song.
Yeah, from a philosophical standpoint, the one part of the song that I always remember is there's always time to change the road you're on. That quote from the song, it says you always have time to change directions in life if you're not happy with your current situation or whatever.
Yeah, which is supposed to be in reference to her greedy ways.
Yeah.
Or at least ignorant, however somebody wants to describe it.
Yeah, so like when you're thinking about your profession, whatever you get into, you can always, or another way to say it is turn down a different avenue or whatever, however you want to take that. Because sometimes we make bad decisions in life and so on. And I think that I always think of that line from that song that you have a choice in life.
Yeah.
And I guess when you really think about it, isn't that kind of the Stairway to Heaven?
Yeah.
When you have that choice to make your life better.
Yeah. What is?
Yeah. At first, some people thought there was no Stairway to Heaven.
No, something was wrong, man. There ain't no Stairway to Heaven. 5 minutes later, hey, they were right. There is a stairway.
What movie was that?
Soul Taker.
Yeah, Soul Taker. They didn't actually say that in the movie. We're talking in reference to Mystery Science Theater and their
commentary.
Soul Taker. So Stairway to Heaven. It's just when we at some point we'll make our top 100 rock songs of all time. In some ways, I would really have to debate that because I always say Bubba O'Reilly by The Who. But I might have to reconsider and put Stairway to Heaven as number one. It's a tough call between those two songs and a few other songs as well. So anyways, what do you got as number 9 on your list?
No, skipping past number 10.
Oh, I thought we were going to go from top to bottom. Oh, So number 1, number 2.
So
number 2. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, you see, that's the thing where it's all in how you kind of want to, I don't know, describe the list. Is it their best songs? Is it my favorite Led Zeppelin songs? Because I think right now I can make an argument for 2 being 1 or 1 being 2 based on, is it their best songs or is it my favorite songs?
All right. Well, let's. What do you want to do?
Because you just said, top 10 Led Zeppelin songs. I wrote this in the, it's a mix. It is a mix because I can say that looking at my list that the further I go, it is based off of some things that I like more than what's their best. So I'll stick with my list as it is, just as a top 10 in general. But right now, as I made this, I would say 1 and 2 are interchangeable, depending on how I wanted to rank it. So yeah, I do have Stairway to Heaven first on here. The second song, and again, I think it could be number one, depending on how I make it, is the Rain song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number 2. Even though I have a long stated non-preference for a lot of Led Zeppelin's longer songs. Sometimes they get a little too bluesy. Sometimes they get a little too, they don't get anywhere, as I describe it, where it's just not necessarily repetition, but bordering on repetition. But the Rain song is one of those songs that is it's one of my favorite songs to just sit down and listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to describe it. And because Led Zeppelin, they do have that blues influence, and it's not the most intense rock music in the history of the genre. It fits well into their catalog of songs, and it's a peaceful song in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
where I know I can just sit down, listen to it, and the instrumentation is really nice and peaceful, and it has nice melodies. Robert Plant isn't doing any sneezing in the song.
Yeah.
There's no strange. There are some parts of Led Zeppelin where in any given song, they try to have that. I don't even know how to describe it. It's not a good term, but it's the first I come up with in my head is some kind of sound effects put into their song. Like we talk about with Whole Lotta Love, something like that, or Black Dog. There's no nonsense with the Rain song. It's just a great rock song. So I think it's number 2 or number 1.
Yeah, it's a great song. When I think of the song, I like to think of it as just like the way they depicted it in The Song Remains the Same. The way they did it in the film was just perfect. They made Robert Plant like he's this, I guess, knight, and he's sailing on the ocean on his ship, remember? And then he gets to the castle, he gets in the fight, and it's an epic song. It's peaceful, it's mellow, but at the same time, it's epic. And yeah, I think you're dead on when you compare it well with Stairway to Heaven, because I think it is it does build up as the song goes, and it's very much in that sphere, like Stairway to Heaven. But I really like the film. The Song Remains the Same, because I like the elements they put with all the songs that they play in the film. And yeah, Robert Plant sitting, and he is right in the film. He's sitting in the forest. He's looking at the trees and doing that. I mean, they couldn't have done a better job, in my opinion, in depicting the song like they did in The Song Remains the Same.
Yeah.
So we definitely. Yeah, I'm not on my list. I don't have anything in particular order. So I'll just follow along with you until we have different songs. But I agree the Rain song would be right there.
Yeah. Okay. And so the middle section to my list was the toughest, because this is the part where I kind of flip back and forth between instrument composition wise, what is just an achievement in music, and then just songs that I liked, and sometimes to give that edge a little bit to something that I just thought sounded really nice, but maybe technically isn't considered the most impressive. So the third is All My Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when the song came out. It was an interesting thing, because if I remember my history right about In Through the Outdoor, it came in a paper wrap, and it had different album covers. So people would have to go down because you never knew what you were getting when you opened it up.
Yeah.
Supposedly
Yeah.
there was different album covers, and there was another hit off the album. It was, gosh darn, I can't remember. But All of My Love was just, yeah, I really liked that song, man. I remember when it came out and listening to it, and it was totally not Led Zeppelin, man. I mean, you could tell that they were changing. That this is go, holy cow, what is this? But I liked it, man. I mean, it's sad that the way the band ended, but perhaps it was a good thing in that regard from a musical standpoint, because who knows where Led Zeppelin would have drifted off to. It's kind of like we were talking about Queen. I don't like a lot of Queen's later music.
Mm-hmm.
It got too 80s type and not in that realm like in the 70s. And I think that probably would have happened to Led Zeppelin, given the way the music was on the final album. And so I'm kind of glad. But as far as All of My Love, yeah, that was a good ending to the band, I think, with that song.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just All My Love, because it is so different from, I think, from the music that they were putting out in their most famous, most successful albums. It fits nicely into kind of the catalog of everything. And so, yeah, I wouldn't want all of Led Zeppelin to sound like the song, but it exists, and so it complements all of the other great songs that they did really nicely. Mm-hmm.
Did you look that up as far as the album covers? Was that the case?
Yeah. They had the brown. Well, they could have been brown, but yeah, there's a picture of the paperback sleeves.
Yeah. So how many album covers did they have for it? So I mean, if you're a collector, I guess you would want
5, 6.
Wow, 6 album covers. So you got
never even seen it before.
Yeah, so you got that on your bucket list, right? Collect all.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, what a gimmick.
Yeah.
I mean that goes right in along with Kiss and the solo albums. You'll get each one and
see what you get.
Yeah. So if you're a true Led Zeppelin fan, I'm sure that you got all the different album covers. I've never actually seen all of them. I only remember the one. The one is like it was like 1920s or something like that. Album covers.
Yeah.
So what do we got next?
So number 4, it's a song that I forget about when I'm thinking of Led Zeppelin songs, but it is a great song. And again, I think it's a song that you could argue could be above All of My Love, but I just put at 4 is Tangerine.
Yeah, Tangerine, man.
I mean, it's just a great song. I mean, I don't think that to me, it's because it is more of that toned down song. It's very melodic, but it's just very, the one word that I use to describe Tangerine is it's very clear. It's a very clear song. You can hear all of the different instruments very well. And I've said that before with you, is probably my least favorite part of a lot of Led Zeppelin songs is Robert Plant's voice.
Well, it's just a very bluesy voice, man. That's the thing.
yeah. And so it works with some songs and then others when he's more, the only word I can use to describe it is he's more liberal with the blues. It's just not as appealing to me. And so, yeah, with songs like Tangerine, where it's more just a straightforward singing in a way, those are the songs that appeal to me very much. And Tangerine, I like that with Led Zeppelin. The songs are more toned down now in this moment, which is most of their songs. I would say they have a lot of. I mean, it's kind of like the Rain song. I don't know if that was. I don't know if it was the inspiration to the song or it was on Jimmy Page's fly when he wrote it. There was a very famous musician who criticized Led Zeppelin for never writing ballads. was.
Jeez. I mean, who would criticize Led Zeppelin at that point? I wouldn't know.
It was George Harrison.
Really?
Yeah, he said you guys have to write ballads. I think he said you can't write ballads, or yeah. And so Jimmy Page, he pretty much said at some point, he's like, "Oh, I'll give you a ballad."
Yeah, oh, that's interesting criticism from George Harrison.
Let me see if it's here. Yeah, that's how they describe it. Page wrote the Rain song in response to George Harrison complaining to John Bonham that the group were unable to write ballads. A biographer later quoted Page's recollection, saying that George was talking to Bonzo one evening and said, "The problem with you guys is that you never do ballads." I said, "I'll give him a ballad," and I wrote Rain Song, which appears on Houses of the Holy. Yeah, so it goes on to say, however, there is some disagreement about exactly what was said by whom, but that's the story I always remember. So it's now I like Led Zeppelin's ballad-esque songs, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the way.
Yeah, for me with Tangerine, if I'm going to compare it to another rock group, I'm going to compare it to one of your Rolling Stones' favorite songs in, what is it? What is the name? Oh, The Girl with Faraway Eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And why is that?
I don't know.
What instrument do they use in Tangerine?
I'm trying to connect this to Faraway Eyes.
I was driving early one morning in Bakersfield.
And
the gospel preacher said, "You always have the Lord by us." And I was so pleased to be informed of this.
But I read the steel guitar. Yeah.
They used the steel guitar in the song. So it has this country element to it, which is certainly different than a lot of their songs to start with, which I thought was fitting. I mean, it's interesting the use of steel guitar in rock music. Here's a trivia question: Did Motley Crue use a steel guitar in any of their songs? And if they did, which one?
Yes, they did. Without You.
Yeah,
that's always the rock song I think of with steel guitar.
Yeah, so the use of the steel guitar, it's been done. The Stones, Led Zeppelin, Motley Crue, they've used it. It's an interesting element that they included with Tangerine. So it has this country element to the song, which I think is kind of cool. But it still has that rock element to it, and to that sense, it reminds me of kind of a little bit like Rod Stewart type song. Like he could have sang it. It would have been interesting, like if you had Rod Stewart. You're talking about the Voices singing the song "Vice," Robert Plant, but it's much. I think it's kind of in that realm. I don't know if that influenced Rod Stewart on any of his songs that he wrote, like The First Cut Is the Deepest and Maggie May. But it has those elements to it, man. It has like this country element. It has a little bit of Rod Stewart element to it. And I think that's the reason why I think that song is so cool, because it's a relatively short song compared to the rest of Led Zeppelin songs. But I think that's the reason why I like it so much, because it has those elements in the song that make it really stand out and unique.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing with Led Zeppelin is the songs that I do really like with them is they, like Tangerine, it's described as a folk rock or country rock song, which I'm not the biggest country rock or folk rock fan or anything, but the songs that are great Led Zeppelin songs are some of the best fusions of different genres in that kind of bluesy country folk area of rock music. And yeah, when Led Zeppelin, they made a great song, they made a great song.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah. How do you think you would have liked Tangerine if Rod Stewart would have sang it?
It would have worked. Yeah. I can see it. I almost feel like, I don't know if it's the right way to describe, but I feel like, so I'll give Robert Plant, I will say that about his voice compared to Rod Stewart. I don't know if it's fair to say, but Plant has a fuller voice than Rod Stewart, or it's deeper. At least it fits the Robert Plant fits the song, but Rod Stewart would make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rod Stewart has a very bluesy voice as well.
He does. Yeah.
I think in a lot of his earlier songs, more so than his later songs, you can get a sense of that. I think early on when he was with the Faces, I mean, it was a bluesier type band, if I remember right. I mean, I think that's where his roots pretty much are. So I think he would have fit it well with the Tangerine.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have. Definitely.
All right. So what's next?
And I feel like it's a good spot. And see, if I would have made this list 7-8 years ago, it would have been higher. It would have been second or third. But now I think it's in the right spot. The Immigrant Song.
The which song?
Immigrant Song.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and so now talking about how much I liked more toned down, softer songs, and then the Immigrant Song is probably the purest hard rock song that Led Zeppelin is.
Yeah.
I would say comfortably.
Yeah, it's a great driving song, man. The dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's an epic song, man.
Yeah, and it's very punchy because it's only 2.5 minutes long.
Yeah,
I mean, it comes and it goes. It's just 2.5 minutes of pure hard rock. That's the simplest way to describe the song. It has a real drive to it. It has a real force to it, and it does stand out on its own in all of the different Led Zeppelin songs. Yeah. Everybody knows the Immigrant Song, except for the audience that was listening to that one radio station 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like talking about Stairway to Heaven. I don't know what much more there is to say about the song, except it's just a great song.
Yeah, as far as the title, I can kind of understand that to a degree, because what two songs did I always say that you think the title of the song, but it really wasn't the title of the song?
Train in Vain by The Clash.
Yeah. Which everybody thinks the name of the song is what?
I can't remember. What you said. I'm listening to the song in my head. I can't remember the.
Yeah, didn't Stand By Me.
Yeah.
I thought that was the name of the song because that's what they say. Didn't Stand By Me. Yeah. And what was the other song?
Brass in Pocket.
Yeah. Which everybody thought.
That's what you thought it was called.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that is the name of the song.
Yeah.
Wasn't the name of the song Brass in Pocket? Yeah.
But you think think the title of the song is what?
Oh, I can't remember.
Special.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that. I love that song by the Pretenders, man. The Pretenders, they did a few good songs, and we make, as far as pop music, if we make a top 100 songs with that song would definitely, they're considered a rock band. But Brass Pocket is one of the great songs. So but you should know the name of the Immigrant Song. I mean, what else are you going to call it? Because they don't really sing in the songs. It's it's just a few sentences. Come from the land of the ice and the snow. Yeah.
On and on. Yeah. That's it's about the one song where Robert Plant's ad-libs work for me.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the best attempt at it.
Yeah. All right. So what's next on the list?
So this was tough because this is right in the middle. And so, because this is one of those songs that I always remember listening to as a kid. And so it was just, to me, this is probably the funnest rock song that, I would say that. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Living, Loving, Made.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's a catchy song. There was a time growing up that for some reason, I don't know why, I always thought it was a Van Halen song.
That's an interesting, I'm trying to picture that.
And it was this weird connection in my head. I could hear David Lee Roth singing the song. I don't know. I have no logical explanation for it.
Yeah, I guess they could have pulled it off in a Van Halen way.
Yeah. I think it's because this is my theory now that I'm thinking about it. It's because of Pretty Woman from Van Halen.
Yeah.
And so it kind of would build off of that a little bit.
Yeah, what it reminds me of, it reminds me a little bit of Jimi Hendrix and the Experience because early on, well, like a lot of bands like Cream and in that line, because a lot of their early albums, it's more commercial oriented. But you really can't say that with Led Zeppelin because their first album wasn't at all like that. It wasn't until their second album where those two songs, Living, Love, and Made, and sorry, what is the other song? What was on my list?
Whole lot of love.
Whole lot of love,
Whole lot of
right?
love.
But a whole lot of love. No, that was a real rock song. Whole lot of love.
Mhm.
But Living, Love, and Made was really, when you really think about it, really was the really only like commercial poppier type song, rock song that they did. And I think that's the thing that's unique about Living, Love, and Made.
Mhm.
Is it's just a more poppier rock song that they did.
Yeah.
And it's a fun song to listen to. It's not a deep song like a lot of Led Zeppelin songs. It's just a poppier, just fun rock and roll song. And it's just, great to listen to, man. That's the only thing with Living, Love, and Made, man.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just a fun song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's as I've gone through this top 6 now. I mean, I think that Led Zeppelin, when you go through all of their music, is they have those songs that it wasn't their MO, but it just stands out.
Yeah.
And so it creates kind of a really nice complete picture of their range. They could make really different songs. I mean, yeah, you compare Living, Love, and Made to Tangerine.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah.
But they still are even better good song. I mean, those are 3 completely different songs, but they all work. They're all great songs in their own way.
Yeah, the only song I can compare that to that was a poppier song was off Physical Graffiti. What song am I talking about? Physical Graffiti. That was a poppier, upbeat song.
Poppy.
No, actually, there was there's another song off Led Zeppelin 4 as well. So there actually is a few other songs that were upbeat and popular, both on Led Zeppelin 4 and Physical Graffiti.
I don't know what you're thinking of looking at the albums. I don't know what particularly would fit that description.
Which album are you looking at right now?
House of the Holy.
No, not Houses. Not Houses.
Oh, yeah, Physical Graffiti. I mean,
yeah.
I'm looking at Physical Graffiti. I just said House of the Holy.
But you're right. It's that song right there.
House of the Holy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an upbeat song. Houses of the Holy. Yeah, that's a upbeat song. And what song off Led Zeppelin 4?
I'm trying to remember some of these other songs. Are you talking about Black Dog?
No.
No, yeah. Misty Mountain Hop?
Yeah. Misty Mountain Hop.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't the only song that they did. And I like Houses of the Holy. That was a really good song. I like Physical Graffiti, the whole album. I mean, I think it's a great album. But yeah, Living, Love, and Made is in that realm. It's just a fun song to listen to.
Definitely.
So what's next?
So sticking with Physical Graffiti, I went with this is number 7. I went with Trampled Underfoot.
Really?
Yeah.
So this isn't the first time that we differ because my favorite song is in the Light. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about In the Light. It's a good song. It's a really good song. It's just I don't think it's a top 10 song.
Wow. I'm surprised by that. But anyways,
I don't really have it's Trampled Underfoot. I was comparing the song to Black Dog. I was kind of going in my mind between the two songs about which one I liked more. And I think I like Trampled Underfoot more because it has more of a consistency to it. Black Dog, it kind of speeds up and then slows down, and it has that constant change of pace. I just think in comparison to that, to Black Dog, Trampled Underfoot, it's more of a easier to listen to isn't the right way to say it. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. The riffs, this is what I'm trying to say. Black Dog, I think, should have been just a consistently faster song, like Trampled Underfoot is. And so that's what I like about Trampled Underfoot is a better Black Dog.
Oh, yeah. All right. That's a way to explain it. But for me,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for me, In the Light. First of all, the way it ends. In the Light has one of the great endings of any song that I listen to, man. The way the song light in the light. The way that's just a beautiful ending to the song, man. And it's the message from the song, right? I mean, it tells you how the lyrics go. To bring up the lyrics real quick.
What, from the beginning or the end?
Yeah, just start reading it. Just
okay. And if you feel that you can't go on and your will sinking low, just believe and you can't go wrong. In the light, you will find the road. You will find the road.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the song's all about, man. It's an inspiring, uplifting song. And the way it ends, song. I love everything about the song, man. The way the composition or however you want to say it, it's definitely one Led Zeppelin's underrated songs. I think is In the Light. It's a perfect song.
Yeah. Maybe it's a generational thing or something. Maybe I'm just too distant from it. But I don't know. It's like, would you consider it to have psychedelic elements?
I don't know, man, because I think the way they designed the song, when you hear the opening parts, it's like you're in distress, like you're out of it, you're depressed, feeling down, and then it picks up this upbeat tone to get you out of it, like just believe. Like it says in the song, you can't go wrong, and then you're going to find a way out of your dire circumstances, whatever that is. And I think that music fits it, is spot on, because that's the way you would be feeling. You'd be feeling disillusioned, out of it. And I think that the music early on reflects that.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a great song in its own way. I think it's one of those songs that would go in for me as like that honorable mentions, 11 through like 13. It's right there. But on a given day, I could put it could fit a top 10 too. I get it.
Yeah, and I could almost on my top 10, but I didn't throw Kashmir. I mean, I know it's not probably the type of song you like. It's a very hypnotic song, but man, I mean, I remember I used to just like lay down there and listen to Kashmir. That's because that song I think it takes the full side of an album, Kashmir. I mean, it's like 20 minutes long, if I remember right.
I don't think it's quite that long, but it's not.
Yeah, it's either Moby Dick, Kashmir, whatever, but it's a long song.
Yeah, Kashmir. Where is it? Yeah, the album length, not necessarily the concert length. The album length for Kashmir is 8.5 minutes.
Oh, okay, all right. I thought it was a lot longer than that. But but it is. Yeah. You talk about a hypnotic song is Kashmir, man.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
All right, so what do we got next?
So number 8, I just didn't connect your description to the song, but I have Houses of the Holy.
Oh, all right. Yeah. It's a poppier type song.
Yep. Yeah, it's one of those songs I didn't listen to too much younger, but then you kind of listen through the albums and you eventually get to the title song, which they have it's fourth on the album. It's just a good fun song. Poppy, yeah, I could see why you would describe it that way. It's easy listening. Houses of the Holy. So I like it that way. And it's I remember listening to the album because I'm looking at the track listing right now and the times. Houses of the Holy follows In My Time of Dying, which is the longest song. It's just over 11 minutes. So it's a very big jump in styles. And so it kind of sticks out in my head because of that. Because In My Time of Dying, it's been so long since I've listened. I don't really remember the song, but I just remember in the song ending and then House of the Holy jumping. That's okay. This is this is more up my street. So it's a really good song.
Okay, my first question is with Houses of the Holy is, what's it doing on Physical Graffiti?
See, and I did it right there. I called it the title song, and it's not even the title song of the album.
Yeah,
it's the title song of the. I do that all the time with the song. Yeah,
it's just like I don't get it, man. Why'd you put it on Physical Graffiti when it should be on Houses of the Holy? Right?
Yeah, they should have committed and put a song on Houses of the Holy called Physical Graffiti.
Yeah.
That really would have messed with people. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was always my first question with Houses of the Holy. But yeah, it's different than any song on Physical Graffiti for sure. I mean, it's most of the album is it can be kind of downbeat a little bit. I mean, when it says in my time of dying or sick again. No, not In My Time of Dying. Was that on Physical Graffiti?
Yeah.
It's
the song just before. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it can kind of have the downbeat songs a little bit, but there's a lot of elements to Physical Graffiti. I mean, it opens up with Custard Pie, which is a rockin' song. And yeah, that's why I think it's one of the great albums because there's a lot of diversity in the album. And yeah, Houses of the Holy, it's a different type of song. I mean, it's just like, I can't remember, that's down the ocean side.
Down by the seaside?
Yeah.
Down by the seaside. Yeah.
Is that on?
No, that's off of it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's an upbeat song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah,
it's a mix of an album.
Yeah, that's what makes it such a great album. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't have that song on my top 10, but it's definitely a song I like for sure.
Yeah. It's a great solid rock song.
Yeah. All right. So what do we got next?
You don't give me enough credit because now I have Cash.
All right. Yeah.
Again, I very much have that trend with this list. It's kind of Led Zeppelin, they have those songs that are kind of the best of a category that in their mini categories in Led Zeppelin's music. And Kashmir is their best, in my opinion, their best kind of psychedelic. It's heavy, it's psychedelic all at the same time. It does go on, it's very repetitive. I mean, you can hear it in your head as soon as somebody says Kashmir, you can hear all the whole time. It's a very distinctive song, but it just all fits together in a really, really nice way to where it is one of those. It is longer than Stairway to Heaven. Is it longer than the Rain Song? I think it is. Rain Song is 740. Kashmir, I think, is like 8.5. Yeah, 8.5. Yeah, so it is the longest song. Works. I'll give them credit when a long song works. And when I think of Stairway to Heaven, the Rain Song, and Kashmir, those are three very different long songs.
Mm.
But they're kind of within their own category within Led Zeppelin's music. It's the heaviest of the three. And I just think it works.
Yeah, with Kashmir, I think you really got to listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Because that sets the tone, man. It's just that imagery, man. That's what takes you off in the song. When he talks about space and time and yeah, just the music. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Yeah, it's just it takes you on a
Yeah.
journey, like we were saying before, like with a lot of Led Zeppelin songs. It's just you go on a journey, man. That's
Yeah.
the great thing about their
Yeah.
music, I think. So you're at
Mhm.
number 9,
You can,
which I don't have
Yep.
Kashmir. So I guess Whole Lot of Love would be next on mine. And Whole Lot of Love
Okay.
is a great rock song. I mean, it's a
Mhm.
jamming song. Whole Lot of Love. Dun, dun, dun. The drums are.
Mhm.
You asked me what song was John Bonham's, his drum playing was the best. You really could hear it. Yeah, Whole Lot of Love is great with the drums. I think, but with
Yeah.
a lot of Led Zeppelin songs, I mean, the drums are a significant part of it. But I think, particularly with Whole Lot of Love, the drums are my favorite
Mm.
part, man. Particularly the part where
get
they which normally I don't like, where they changed the tempo, and they did that in Whole Lot of Love. But when Robert Plant's trying to sneeze, right?
Mhm.
But as soon as
Yeah.
as soon as
Uh-huh.
that part is over and the drums kick in, it's just like, man, that's some powerful music, man. But the drums are great in Whole Lot of Love, man.
Mm.
If you're a drum person, you really like listening to the drums. Well, obviously you're already a John Bonham fan, anyways.
Yeah.
But Whole Lot of Love is a song you want to listen to, man. Yeah, is the drums. So if you ask me, what is the main thing you like about Whole Lot of Love? It's the drums, man. There's a few other songs that I really like. The drums are really really cool, but I think the best one is Whole Lot of Love.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I can see it.
that's why I have it on there. So we're at the final.
Yeah. Yep. The 10th is always funny because, or whatever the cutoff for a list is, because you have those few that you have to debate about. Oh, is it going to get the final spot? I very much had 3 songs in consideration in competition, but eventually I went with Black Dog
Yeah.
for 10th. Yeah. Even though I kind of criticized it as a B-Tech trampled underfoot, but not. It's a great song in its own right. I have it written down here. I was comparing Black Dog with Whole Lot of Love and Custard Pie. Those were the 3 that I was kind of cycling through, and I will say it was A Whole Lot of Love didn't make the top 10 because of Robert Plant sneezing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's even with Black Dog where once it slows down, they go,
Yeah.
when they slow it down, and it's not exactly the same, but it's kind of in that mold. And then, so that's why I was kind of comparing those 2. And then, like you mentioned briefly, Custard Pie is just a solid rock song, but I went with Black Dog over Custard Pie because in the end, when they do speed Black Dog back up again, it's a great instrumentation.
Yeah.
I just love those parts of Black Dog.
Real quick, I thought I had No Quarter on my list.
No. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. It's right here. My bad. That's right.
Yeah, I wonder how we missed that one. All right. But anyways, because we already talked a little bit about No Quarter anyways. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're talking about Black Dog. When I think of Black Dog,
Mhm.
they could get great jam songs. A few days ago, where we were talking about the Cult and Ceremony. It's in that realm, man, like Custard Pie. Those are great opening songs when we're talking about opening songs for albums. Ceremony was just a great jam song by the Cult, man. I love that. It's a great, powerful way to open a song. Custard Pie was the same way off Physical Graffiti. Yeah, great jam opening song. Black Dog is in that same sphere as far as I'm concerned, man. It's just a great jamming song, and it's different than any rock song that I can think of. because it has that transition. Custard Pie and Ceremony and songs like that. There's no real transition. I'm not knocking them. I mean, they're great songs. But Black Dog, because it has that, like, goes quiet then loud and quiet then loud. It's just like, wow. Yeah, I always loved Black Dog. Remember, I always said before with Stairway to Heaven was an evolution for me to ultimately really liking that song. But with Black Dog, I loved it right off the bat, man. I go, that's a great song. It was kind of like listening to Pink Floyd and Bunny for the first time, man. Not being a big fan of Pink Floyd or anything like that, but when I hear Money, I go, man, that's one of my favorite songs, man, is by Pink Floyd. But Black Dog was, that may have been the first song that I really liked by Led Zeppelin, listening early on. Was, I always liked listening to Black Dog. So, and that's the reason why, man. It's a great opening song, that transition in the song. And I think it's unique in rock history because everybody knows Black Dog.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking when I compared it with Custard Pie, is that Black Dog is a more memorable song than Custard Pie. Yeah. Because it has that, I kind of compared it in a multi-instrument way because there's that moment where it's slow, they pick it up, and that to me is the memorable part of the song. When you hear the drums kick in and the guitar and all of that, and they pick the speed back up. It's kind of totally different kind of music and drum. But if you're with Phil Collins with In the Air Tonight, when it's quiet and then it has that very, very famous drum, and you can just, I would imagine playing, if I was playing Black Dog with the group and I'm on the drums, you're kind of anticipating that moment in the song where you can just, you can just go at the drums. And it's a very, very memorable song. It's just Robert Plant's ad-libs. That's the only part that knocks it down. Just that little 1%. Yeah, I mean, that's all I would say.
Yeah, I'm a Robert Plant fan. I like the way he sings. I think it's bluesy. I think it fits Led Zeppelin. It's just like when you talk about Bruce Springsteen. I mean, there are some people, not sometimes the way he sings. I never bought into that because it's just like Mick Jagger with the Stones. To me, it's just them. I mean, it fits the music, it fits them. But with Black Dog, it has that immigrant song element to me, particularly towards the end, because the immigrant songs are dun 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 dun. But in Black Dog, it's kind of like they do that same thing because they'll go dun 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 dun. It has a little bit of that immigrant song element to it. So I think if you're a fan of the immigrant song, you're going to be a fan of Black Dog for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the drums were great in Black Dog too when it goes. It's just Black Dog, man. There's no doubt that's in. If we make our top 100 just rock songs, I think Black Dog would definitely be on my list for sure. And in the top 20,
it hits them up.
Yeah,
in the top 20. Okay.
Yeah. As far as just jamming rock songs,
that's how I would describe the immigrant song.
Yeah, which the immigrant song is right there too. There's no doubt those two songs. So like Whole Lot of Love, whole lot of love, Black Dog, the immigrant song. Yeah, Led Zeppelin did it all, man.
They did
from ballads to rockin' songs to Hypnotic. They did it all, man. That's why Paul Stanley of Kiss, they said, what rock band do you think is the greatest of all time? And what did he say?
What's that?
Yeah. To me, it's debatable.
I will say, I liked more as I was going through. There were more Led Zeppelin songs that I liked than I remembered. So I'll give them their credit. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's debatable, man. That people say, what do you think the greatest rock band is? To me, it's the Beatles, man. I mean, if you ask me today, it's the Beatles and perhaps Rolling Stones. But I put Led Zeppelin. They're definitely one of the top bands, for sure. And growing up, I wasn't the biggest Led Zeppelin fan because there was this rivalry between Kiss and Led Zeppelin. People we would argue, and I was a big Kiss fan. And so that's what it was. If you're a Kiss fan, you'd always say Ace Frehley's a better guitarist than Jimmy Page. I certainly wouldn't say that today. I said that back then. But Led Zeppelin is, I definitely have in my top 10. Because, I mean, there's so many bands. The Who. Would I put Led Zeppelin above The Who? I don't know, man. The Who, the Bubba O'Reilly, Who Are You? I mean, those songs were just great. Equally as great. But I think no doubt the one thing about Led Zeppelin is Stairway to Heaven. I think I could definitely argue or put that song even above Bubba O'Reilly by The Who as the best rock song ever written.
It's a contender. There's no argument against the Stairway to Heaven being the best song. There's just people can come up with arguments for other songs, but it's one of the pinnacles of rock music, definitely.
Yeah. So there we go. The only songs we differed on is Kashmir and you didn't have No Quarter.
I didn't have No Quarter. I had 3 different songs. I had Trampled Underfoot, Houses of the Holy, and Kashmir. Those were my 3 different.
Yeah, mine was No Quarter.
In the Light.
Yeah.
Oh, where's the third one? There has to be a third one. I'm crazy. Oh, and Whole Lot of Love. Yeah, I did put Whole Lot of Love. Yeah.
So the most part.
So, yeah, I get that some people, they say, oh, the Immigrant Song or Stairway to Heaven or something that it's so overplayed for some people. I don't really have that problem because, one, I don't listen to the radio, maybe some classic rock stations that are still around, and 2, where we have enough bands and artists that we listen to we're not listening to Led Zeppelin on repeat all the time. So I don't disregard the songs because of that. But yeah, Led Zeppelin is one of those bands that I feel like for me, there were no doubt songs that they were just going to go in. It wasn't like I had to build the list from scratch. It was probably about half the list. Stairway to Heaven, The Rain Song, All My Love, Immigrant Song, Tangerine, and Living Loving Maid. Yeah, there was 5 songs. The other 5 I had to go through and listen. But yeah, very, very memorable songs from Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, they're definitely one of my favorite bands, no doubt. So, but it'd be a tough call. One time we got, I think we did that before we ranked our top bands, but yeah, I wouldn't have Led Zeppelin number 1. I wouldn't. They'd probably be lower top 10 or whatever because But there's very few rock bands where you really all 4 members are so well known, and Led Zeppelin is one of those bands. Though John Paul Jones, a lot of people, yes, I wonder if a lot of people would, if you're a Led Zeppelin fan, know John Paul Jones because people know John Bonham, Robert Plant, but with John Paul Jones, he's a great bass player, man. If you really focus on the bass.
I just said definitely, but it would take me a second. I'm not going to lie. I would get the first 3, and then I would be sitting there. I was like, who is the... Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll stop here, and there we go. Next time we'll do Who's Top 10.
Oh, that's going to require some listening for me.
No. I'm not talking about the Who. I said Who's Top. We could do Ghost Top 10. Yeah, I know you thought that was that was a Morrison Jerome moment.
Exactly.
You slip by me and you say what?
Right. No, I don't know.
He goes, the password is right. He goes, if you say so.
Yeah.
I go, what's the password? Go, yeah.
You got it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
But anyways, we could do Ghost Top 10.
Okay. That would be an interesting time to do it since the new album is out. And so let's see if it's, do it.
Yeah. So when we get around to it, I don't know what we'll talk about next, but yeah. Because we got to do our top 10 for each band. We haven't even.
That's going to take some thinking with Ghost.
Yeah. We got to do the Beatles and the Stones, and there are so many other bands.
Yeah. I feel like when we do get around to the Beatles, I feel like our lists are going to vary a bit.
Yeah.
I think so. There's so many songs with the Beatles, but we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.